welcome to the Moms on Maternity YouTube show and podcast. I'm Aimee Cruz, and today we have on Joannie Garner. Joannie just finished her first book, Wild Joy, and is mom to the 17 and 18-year-old, as well as a health coach. How are you today, Joannie?
I'm great. I'm awesome.
Congratulations on your first book. Was it always a dream of yours to write a book?
It was, yeah. I'm an avid journaler.
So when you were a kid, do you remember what your biggest dreams were?
Well, to survive, to be honest with you. Yeah.
And that's a tough, you had a tough childhood?
I did. My mom committed suicide when I was 12.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
And how did that impact you?
I was very fearful. And so, like you said, as a little girl growing up thinking about dreams, I just was thinking about how am I going to make it to the next day? I'm the oldest of 4 siblings. And so I pretty much raised my siblings.
Wow.
And I was a mom. So I felt like it was important, Aimee, to be on this podcast because as moms, we find ourselves all different places in life, right? Mm-hmm. I was scared to be a mom. I had a lot of fear around that.
So did you think that you were going to become a mom when you became an adult?
I really didn't. I didn't have dreams of being a mom. Mm-hmm. I thought I was going to be Miss Independent, Miss Entrepreneur, like rule the world.
And so you entered the military, is that right?
I did. Mm-hmm.
At what age?
I was old. I was 26.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And did you have your first baby while you were in the military?
Yes, I did. I was 29. Yeah.
Wow. And then you had your second baby shortly after, is that right?
At 30. They're 13 and a half months apart.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Two that are 13 and a half months apart.
Yes.
Wow. So, I mean, they are 17 and 18 right now. You have done it, and you've done it all successfully because you look amazing. You just finished the book. You have 2 grown-up kids. What's your secret? What was your biggest, what allowed you to get to where you are today while being a mom?
Well, I really think that choosing not to be a victim, because my mom was an alcoholic, so she struggled with her addictions, and my dad was, he struggled with drug addictions. So I had to grow up really fast. So I feel like sometimes as moms, we can let our childhood be an excuse for not going after things in life, not living in a fulfilled place of purpose. So I'm pretty passionate and excited. Like, it's so hard to sit here.
Definitely. Let's hold that book up again. So this is your book, Wild Joy. Moments captured in the wild, weird, and wonderful spaces of everyday and extraordinary life. Wild Joy is such a powerful title. Why Wild Joy?
Because here's the thing, living a life of loss and pain and grief mixed in with love, on the other side of that is joy. On the other side of that is something deeper and bigger than just happiness, because happiness is based on situation and circumstances, right? And that can change like that. Happiness is fleeting. See, I have a joy tattoo on my wrist. Yeah. So I feel like if we choose not to be victim, then really the sky is the limit as far as what is possible in life. And right here, I say every moment matters.
Yeah.
What if every pain had a purpose?
So does every pain have a purpose?
It really does. Yeah, it does.
So you talk about so does your book go into like case studies on that, like how people turn pain into purpose, or what does the book go into?
It's personal stories. So it's getting to know more about myself. I feel like I just poured my heart out in this book. And I've been married 20 years. So that's a huge success because my dad was married 5 times.
5 times?
5 times. And I lost him 2 years unexpectedly to a heart attack.
I'm sorry.
And Aimee, that was like the turning point for my life where it's like, okay, you're either going to do it or you're not. As far as writing my book.
2 years ago. And do what or not?
Write my book, write it, finish it, publish it, promote it, talk about it.
So how long had you been thinking about the book?
About 1.5 years.
Okay. You've been thinking about it for 1.5 years, and then you finally decided, I'm going to write it.
I'm going to write it. I'm going to finish it because I've been writing it.
You have.
I'm going to finish it. Yeah. I'm going to
You've been writing it for how long though? Like since you were like in your...
Well, I've written many books. So the vision for Wild Joy, a couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I had so many ideas in my head, like always.
And what do you,
brainstorming ideas.
and then do you have a job, right? A different job, or is the book kind of your passion, your job? That's what you're putting all your energy into?
Right now it is. And my mother-in-law just passed away 2 years ago. I mean, not 2 years ago, I'm sorry, 2 months ago of dementia. So I was a full-time caregiver.
Wow.
And so I feel like too, it's important to tell mamas that like when you are moving forward towards your dreams and then life happens, don't stop. Don't ever stop. We just have to slow down sometimes and hit speed bumps. And so I was a full-time caregiver of my mother-in-law, and I literally kind of just laid everything down, my career aspirations, and took care of my mom, my husband's mom.
So who's the person that what does the person who should absolutely read this book look like? I mean, I know everyone should read it, but who will get the most benefit from it?
I think it's going to be a mom that's like in her 20, 30 year age that, goes to Target, orders groceries online, that's busy, but also sees the value of those moments, like I was saying, and that lives life maybe afraid to be all that she was created to be. Maybe playing small and not living in that place of, girl, you got purpose,
And, I know, yeah. And your big wake up moment was when your dad passed away, where you're just like, I have to do this now.
Yeah.
So
it was like now or never. Yeah.
You think everybody has kind of a wake up moment?
Absolutely. And I found my faith at a young age. My faith is very important to me. So staying on that path of faith as well, having that foundation, I felt like kept me grounded and not, maybe making some other crazy choices, which I've made my share of them. I got married at 19 and then divorced at 25 and found myself divorced with this broken heart, broken childhood, right? No children. I said, well, I'll just join the military.
Oh, that's what led to that. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Looking for direction, looking for things that I didn't necessarily have as a child.
How long did you stay in the military?
6 years. Yeah.
And being a female in the military is probably a unique experience too, right? And a mom. It was.
And I was in public health. So I've always worked in the health field. But the amazing thing is I met my husband there. So we got married after 9/11.
That's cool. What city?
I'm sorry?
What city?
November. Oh, what city? We got married in Pigeon Forge. We eloped. That's another fun story.
That's
we
fun.
eloped. We were breaking all tradition.
Okay, so mental health, you're a mental health coach as well. Mental health coaching revolves around the physical, mental, and spiritual. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
So how do you at first assess a client, and what's your approach for starting to work with someone?
Well, it's definitely having a phone conversation and kind of seeing where they're at. And to be honest with you, I'm selective. So I kind of already have a relationship built with them, and I kind of already see a need. And customizing the coaching to fit their life where they're at today.
So you assess them to see kind of where their biggest needs are, where they're stuck as a coach, and you help them get unstuck. That's so powerful. I have a lot of people tell me how are you so good at business, but you're so stuck here in this other part of your life? And so people, we do get stuck. Why do we get stuck, do you think?
I feel like because we let excuses be bigger than the opportunities, and we're scared to say yes. This is my first podcast being a guest on, Aimee.
Really?
So promoting.
So cool.
Yeah, promoting wild joy. And being a mama is I wore my necklace for you. It says mom. My son bought it for me years ago.
Aww.
But that's the greatest joy, is being a mom, getting to be the mother of my children and impact their lives and create this life of fun and love and just all the good things that I never had growing up. And so it's you get a do-over.
Yeah, hold the book up again.
Wild joy.
So how many pages is it?
It's a lot. 241.
Do you have a favorite chapter?
Yeah, I do. I actually highlighted 2 different chapters.
Which
I have
one?
favorites. Oh, goodness. Okay. So I think I kind of knew you were going to ask that because I've been studying you. I've been watching your podcast. Let's see. So I have chapters about dreams, going after your dreams, Well, can I share this story yesterday that actually happened?
Yeah.
So my 18-year-old has entered the dating world, my son, Seth. And I'm like freaking out, to be honest with you. I'm like, ah. So I go to chapter 4 in my book because I share a story about my daughter dating when she was almost 16 years old. So I was, telling my son, I was like, okay, this applies to you too. And it was cool because I was using my own words. I was using my own
That is
book.
really cool.
Like that's something you can't foresee when you move forward in those dreams, like you're going to benefit from your own dreams. But you do it for the one, like you said, who's my audience, and seeing that reader, like seeing that face, seeing that woman that is struggling in her pain and struggling with the things that have gone wrong in her life, instead of like, girl, create the life that you want to live.
So get out of the struggle by creating.
Yes, action steps is so vital. And so this chapter is called Fearless Ones. And I talk about the 3 words: honor, respect, and protect, because I think that's so important. And it's every relationship. I'm very passionate about relationships in general. So every chapter is mostly about my family and just different scenario, like different things we've gone through in life, vacations.
Did your kids read the book?
No, they haven't. Parts of it.
Yeah. Cool.
Parts of it. Yeah.
So when you think about mental health, how is your book related to kind of your mental health practice, or is it?
Oh, absolutely. Because, well, one thing is I feel like this is going to be a great resource to give to my clients too. Because I can't sit down with every person and like tell you every story in my life. I mean, you don't want to hear that anyways, but I feel like it's a book of empowerment.
I love that word. Yeah. What does it mean to you, empowerment?
Empowerment means that not only am I, let's see, that's a good question. You got me.
Okay, edit that part. Yeah.
Infusing courage and giving people permission to be brave with their life.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that you're right. Like, to be you, like, how do you be who you are, like who you were supposed to be, who you're meant to be, and not let society, or like you said, the things that have happened to you in your past kind of affect who you are, right?
Absolutely. And my daughter, I had her when I was 30 years old, Josie Hope. She's my 17-year-old. Mm-hmm. And so my mom committed suicide at 30, Aimee. So there was like this dark cloud. And I was like, oh my gosh, there was so much fear. Like, I'm going to have a daughter, like, what am I going to do with the daughter? And so the beautiful relationship I have with Josie, and most of my stories are about Josie and I, is the most fulfilling, but the hardest relationship, because I choose connection, like I choose every day to work on our connection because of my mom wounds.
Well, so right? You know what's so interesting about that? Because, man, relationships are hard, but if it's your blood, your baby, your kid, your parents, there's something about family that's like unbreakable. Like, yes. But like this idea of like working on a relationship every day with someone where you're like, I could just go find a new relationship. Like maybe you're not the right person for me because this is so hard. And knowing what that is, the action plan, fix this or move here. Right.
Right. So you don't get to tell your kids like, I want new kids, No,
I mean, you shouldn't.
I wouldn't anyways. Yeah. Just being funny, just lighthearted. So obviously joy, like just keeping humor in life, not taking yourself so serious.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It does help a lot. Is there, I think it is pretty obviously heartbreaking and tragic when we see so many of the things that are hard about today's world, addiction and so suicide and those types of topics. Are they preventable?
Girl, you got me again. I feel like there are resources and solutions. Mm-hmm. I would have to say yes, I would. There's so much around mental health. There's so much around depression. There's so much around anxiety and fear, right? So there's not just one thing.
So depression, anxiety, fear, those are the things that are the opposite of joy. And your book is wild joy, like be wild, be joyful.
Think outside the box, like
think outside the box.
Yeah, create, like I said, create the lifestyle that you want instead of living in a way that maybe your parents expected you to live.
Can
Break all of
we, can we really help people get there, or do they have to get there on their own? And your book's a tool to help them get there.
Absolutely. You have to want it. I mean, you have to buy the book, or if somebody purchased it, you have to open it and read the pages. It's just one more vehicle, I feel like, to help you get unstuck. To help.
Say what you said at the beginning before we started recording about dreams. It was really powerful.
What did I say? Oh.
Your message on dreams, and it's never too late. And this idea of, you know what you want, and don't let yourself be playing small. Like, you have a really great message on that.
Oh, yeah. So I'm closer to 50, right? So my age.
Which is shocking because you look like you're in your 20s.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And so the thing is, like, I thought that maybe I would have done this more in my 30s, like 20 years ago, right? So here I am closer to 50. And there's really this wisdom, this, like, I've lived life, I've experienced situations, I've learned a lot of what not to do. I call it like
what would you say is what's something not to do?
What not to do is stop, because you completely lose momentum. So no matter what age you are, speaking to the mamas, go after those dreams, never stop. Even when I slowed down, I still practice journaling. I started journaling 11 years old. So then there was that writer cultivation. So here we are, how many years later, right? And I feel like women play small because we compare ourselves to one another.
Well, we have control over ourselves. I mean, we have control to keep going. We have control to keep journaling. We have control to keep making the phone calls. We have control to keep making the social media posts, the things that are in our control. But the things that are out of our control, how do you help people just let go? That's the hardest part I've found.
Well, I feel like I'm always walking through that, because I take things to heart. I live with an open heart. And so I take things personal. So it's like a constant living in that, and then basically teaching what I'm learning.
I see. Yeah. Cool. So Wild Joy. Sorry, go ahead.
Just staying accountable to yourself,
What's that? What age? The youngest you start your storytelling and wild journey as a child at what age?
What was the question?
So like the first story you tell in your book is when you were a child, right?
11. I was 11 when I started journaling. Yeah. I started writing cheesy poems. Yeah.
And then you, but your book includes like stories from that time in your life, right?
A few, mostly in the past few years, being a mom.
Stories. Oh, okay.
Going through like the dating, talking about that.
Oh, so it's really like stories for moms. That's what I was missing.
Yeah, it's personal stories. It's so in a world of hurt and pain, I found myself struggling with my identity and purpose. So I found answers, and those answers led me to writing Wild Joy. So I take you on this wild adventure full of lost love and unforgettable lessons along the way. And really, Aimee, what I do, what my goal in this is for you to think about like your own Wild Joy stories. To create those. If you can't, if you don't have them, create them.
Do you have worksheets?
No, I don't. No, I'm a first-time writer, so there's so many. I'm working on my second book now. So
you are. What's your new one?
Joy Warrior.
Joy Warrior.
It's like a constant fight to fight for joy, because it's worth fighting for.
To fight for it. How do you fight for it?
You stay engaged. You stay in the game of life. Yeah. You don't check out.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Cool. Amazing. Very inspirational. Okay. So yeah, a great book for the person who needs a little potentially inspiration. Wild Joy by Joannie Garner. It's available on Amazon. How else can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram, Joannie P. Garner. So I'll throw my middle name in there.
So I'll tag you. I'll tag you for Instagram. It's Joannie.P.Garner on Instagram.
Joannie P. It's straight Joannie P. Garner.
Okay, Joannie P. Garner and Wild Joy on Amazon.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and good luck with that 2 teenagers dating. Sounds like it should be a hopefully good experience. Thank you, Joannie.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Bye.
For more, please visit www.momsofmaternity.com.